just on the radar alone is capable of producing a tornado as it moves to the northeast this morning. This is moving to the northeast about 35 miles per hour. And the fact that we have this potential and the fact that we've had a history of seeing some rotation within this line is the reason that we've had to now break into our own show and give you the latest information on this tornado warning. So earlier this morning, it was looking a little impressive. I think from some of the latest scans, it's trying to possibly weaken a bit. Let's go ahead and pause this for you. It was the rotation that was originally picked up just east of Highway 19 between Palm Harbor, and East Lake. Now this area of radar indicated rotation has moved more so to the northeast about 35 miles per hour and is actually right now about to push up towards the county line. So that is what you're seeing right here, this area of rotation. As we make our way through the next couple of minutes here, I'm still going to keep keeping a close eye on our neighbors out in Greater Northdale around 615, Lutz and Keystone. If you are in the Keystone area and Lutz, I really need you to make sure that you're just kind of hunkering down in your safe place and staying away from any windows, anything that could potentially break in the event we could have some strong damaging winds or even an isolated tornado in your area. So this is the velocity that I've been keeping a close eye on here, just to kind of give folks at home an idea of why we're staring at all these pixels. This gives us a pretty decent idea of how broad or how tight that rotation is. And when you have that bright green pushing up against that bright yellow, bright red there, that is what an area that we have to watch out for. And this is why the National Weather Service has issued this tornado warning, is because of the fact that we've had this radar indicated rotation. I'm still keeping a very close eye on hearing of the latest as far as if there has been any reports of a touchdown. But within the past 7 minutes, we now have the center of this rotation, this area that we're keeping a close eye on, right along the county line, northern Pinellas and northwestern Hillsborough, now officially moving over northwestern Hillsborough as we speak, just south of Keystone. I'm being told by my producers that we actually have our chief meteorologist, Bobby Deskins, on with us. Bobby, good morning.
Good morning. Doing an awesome job, Natalie. Good looking rotation, as you've been pointing out here. This is actually right over Brooker Creek Preserve right now, and it's crossing now into Hillsborough County, and that is near the Tarpon Springs Road area. So this is Water Chase, the Eagles, but I think more than anything else it would be on the north side of the Eagles and up into that Tarpon Springs area, and an area called Odessa, which is actually one that's in northwest Hillsborough County, and Keystone. You can see Keystone labeled there. There's a bunch of lakes there either side of Lake Tarpon. If you live along Lake Tarpon Road, Lake Tarpon Springs Road, you need to be in your shelter right now. Get the kids together, get everybody down. This is some pretty good rotation that we're still seeing this morning. And I've tracked it here over on Weather 1. You can see some times here. 6:11 in the Keystone area, which is basically right now, but also Old McMickey's Farm. A lot of folks know that area because they have lots of weddings and that types of things. But that area is right in the middle of all this, and maybe even just to the south of Old McMickey's Farm. Gulf Pine, by 6:14, and then the Odessa area, which is basically that whole broad area that we're looking at right there anyways, by about 6:16. So that's literally within the next 3 to 4 minutes anyways, because it's, again, over Brooker Creek Preserve at this particular point. It does look like the latest scan has weakened a little bit, which is good news. But we have to watch this one because what you're seeing here, these bright colors, you see this bright red right here, and then there's some green right here. It's when you see those two together that you see rotation in the atmosphere. That's why we always show you this velocity product, because here's what it looks like if you're looking at just the radar, right? That's tough to tell what you're looking at. But if you look at the velocity, you can literally see which way the raindrops are moving. They're going away from the radar, they're going towards the radar. And that's the rotation. And in fact, this is probably a little bit over into here. So now we're getting up into the area that's in the Odessa area in Pasco County. This is going to be south of 54. Gun Highway, if you live on Gun Highway, say from Van Dyke or Ehrlich Road, those areas there, this is moving right towards you. There's lots of neighborhoods there moving northbound up Gun Highway. You can see where Van Dyke is over there in the center of your screen here, in this area right in here. I think it goes just north of there, but Cheval, Lutz Lake Fern Road, all the way up towards county line right in here, that's under the gun right now. Basically, this area would be right in here. Well, let me redraw this. 35 miles per hour. Right now, is that what you were saying, the movement on this?
Right,
off
Bobby, to the
and
northeast
east?
at 35 miles per hour still.
So there you go. Lake Fern, about 611. Right now, it is 611, so it's basically in that area. But yeah, still some decent rotation right there. This is, we've had some decent storms this morning, but this one just popped up that rotation right near the coast. It's easier to do that near the coast, okay? And I think this will weaken a little bit as it does move off inland. But you can see even our radar here is picking up on it. It's a little bit behind in location, but you see that little spin right there? That is the radar itself actually seeing that this rotation is still there. So now we're going to push in from northwest Hillsborough County. If you're now in that southern parts of Pasco County where basically the Veteran meets 54, that's that area right there. The storm is just to your south in the west. It's right here, and it's moving off just like this. So Lando Lakes, eventually I can go ahead and put a track on that for you for Lando Lakes. And that would get it out there towards about 627. That's if it holds together at this particular point. What do we have? Where does the warning extend to? Let's pull that out here. I want to see. Oh, so the warning does include just barely Lando Lakes at this particular point. You see the box going all the way out there? So let's watch, because this is the part right here. The immediate concern is going to be this area right in here.
That's right, Bobby.
Right back out there. That's basically that intersection.
As it continues going to the northeast, Lando Lakes, as you mentioned, are on the fringe of that box, and if it does hold on that far, it would have potential impact in that region up into about 625 this morning.
Right, yeah. And let's see now, that's what, another 13 minutes or so from now. So we'll see if it holds together. Again, what we like to show you all the time is the velocity, because we're looking at this as meteorologists to see where the actual spin is. One other thing that we can look at here is, it's kind of technical, but it's called the correlation coefficient, the CC we call it. This shows round particles or not round particles. Raindrops are round. Debris that gets picked up by a tornado is not round. And so if this was producing damage, we may be able to see that here. So I'm going to go back in time here, because I don't see where the radar is showing the rotation right now. I don't see any particular damage unless, nope. I don't see anything right now, so that's really good news. Let's go back to the velocity. We'll be looking for somewhere right in here, right? And we want to see, when we go back to the correlation coefficient, what are we getting there? See, we don't really see too much there. That's good news. What this tells me is that we're not seeing a bunch of debris, a bunch of limbs, that kind of thing being picked up. Doesn't mean the tornado's not there, it's not touching the ground. The problem with tornadoes, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Natalie, it's likely a radar indicated
That is
tornado,
correct, Bobby.
correct?
Yeah, it was issued because of it was radar indicated rotation that moved through northern Pinellas, now in northern Hillsborough.
Yeah, and the reason for that is, what that means is we don't have somebody, law enforcement or even in somebody in the public, that saw the tornado. I mean, it's dark out, it's likely rain wrapped if it is a tornado. It could just be a funnel cloud. We don't know technically that it's touching the ground. Touching the ground would pick up some sticks and debris and that type of thing. And that would likely show up on that CC that I just showed you there. But the problem is, even if it isn't touching the ground, it can at any time. These things can kind of skip and come up and down. And so that's why we end up going wall to wall, because this is could be a dangerous situation. So again, Gun Highway northbound into Pasco County, and then really right now it's going to be east of Gun Highway, between there and the Veterans. 589, that road you see there in the middle, that is the Veterans. And you can see where it crosses with 54. So that area, and I got to tell you, this is south now, Starkey Ranch. If you're in Starkey Ranch on the north side of 54, you're okay. But just south of there, that area has been blowing up with population the last several years. So there's a lot more little neighborhoods in there. You've probably gotten a weather call. You've probably gotten alerts from us here at 10 News. You need to be in the ground floor of your house. You don't want to be upstairs. and you want to put as many walls between you and the outside world. Okay,
And Bobby,
just let this thing blow by.
National Weather Service continuing to keep this going until about 6:30. But even you just mentioned within the last scan, trying to see maybe a little bit of weakening there.
Yeah, it definitely looks like it. If you are west of Gun Highway, Keystone, the Eagles, Water Chase, Westwood Lakes, you're in the clear. Okay, it's gone now. It's to your east and north at this particular point, so you're all good. It's now Gun Highway into the east, mainly out getting now towards the veterans. Hasn't gotten to the veterans just yet. You can see the, well, look at that. You see that? Right there. Lake Fern, Lutz Lake Fern. This is Tarpon Springs and Gun Highway. What's the, oh, you got to help me out. There's a barbecue place right there. There's a gas station, a barbecue place. That looks like there could be something picked up right there. There's a lot of nice little houses along Tarpon Springs Road where there's some lakes there. That's where it's gone by. This is the correlation. This doesn't look terrible to me, but there just could be something that has picked up there. One of the things we can do is we can show this in 3D. And I like to do this because right now, Natalie and I are trying to determine if this thing's getting stronger or if it's weakening, right? If you put this in motion, if I go back, let me just do this only about, see if I can do this about 30 minutes. You'll see if that storm's getting bigger or weakening. And you can almost look at that. That thing is definitely weakening.
Yeah.
So that is good news. Look at the size of this storm. What I've yeah, definitely. What we're showing you here, we're highlighting the core of the storm, the red. That's not the whole storm, but that's the important part. And you can see that it has greatly weakened as far as the height of the storm is concerned. So that's pretty good. Let me get back over here. Natalie, have you seen anything else in the line coming up from this?
Not on
I'm looking at that area that's off of Madeira
Not quite
Beach.
yet on the backside. I'm watching out towards Pinellas County, right near Madeira, and as we get towards Indian Rocks Beach, just because there have been little notches in there again where there has been some rotation visible, again, well offshore. But that's kind of been the pattern all morning long, Bobby, is that we've seen these little tiny areas where it's once they get onshore, we have to watch them closely, either trying to become a water spout, or could it actually be an isolated tornado over land? So yeah, little notches like that, Bobby, that you're highlighting there has kind of been the pattern over the past couple of hours.
Yeah, we'll have to watch that especially that one that's offshore of Reddington Beach. That one looks kind of suspect at this particular point. The reason why we've cut into the news this morning is because we have the tornado warning. You know what? And Natalie, can you read the times? Is that going till? I'm going to put the map back up here.
Right,
we still going till 6:30.
It's still going till 6:30. The actual warning is. And you know what? I think I see what you're seeing. Yeah, they do have it going till 6:30. It seems like our product here has dropped it off.
So Cheval area right now, that's where it is. I mean, you're obviously hearing the rain and the wind's picking up. It didn't go too far past my house here, and I could really hear the wind coming by. You're going to hear that in Cheval and just north of the neighborhood. But the rotation is, let me get over to the rotation. The rotation is just north and west. Look at that. Yeah, it's still showing up. We just got another scan in. This is the area that we're watching. So it's crossing Gun Highway, the Veterans and State Road 54 right now. So just south, if you live along State Road 54 and the Veterans, especially just south of there, you need to be taking shelter right now.
And heads up to folks in Pinellas County if you did receive this alert. The area that we're keeping a close eye on has officially cleared Pinellas County. So the tornado warned box has narrowed in a little bit more to northern Hillsborough and south central Pasco. So just a heads up there, folks in Pinellas. We're still keeping an eye on some strong storms moving across Highway 19 right now, nearly in the same area. But that is not the area that prompted the tornado warning. The region that did prompt that warning is actually moving into the Pasco County.
Yeah, I want to look at some of the cloud tops data that we had here. Yeah, so some of these storms are getting pretty tall up there. You know, guys, we're into that time of year now. You know, we've been tracking hurricanes for seems like a year at least. It hasn't been that long, but it's been forever. But now we're switching gears and we're getting into the chance for severe weather. This is a strong cold front that's coming through. There's a lot of cold air behind it, as we've been telling you for a week now. It's going to get real cold, but there's also some wind involved. And what we do when these fronts come through is we look at the wind down at the surface, and then we go all the way up above us where the planes are flying and above. And depending on how that changes, we end up seeing possibility for rotation. Today's setup is not huge for tornadoes, but it's there. And obviously, here we go. We definitely have rotation right there, right over the Veterans and 54. And then we have that other one. And you know what? I'm going to drive this one, Natalie, over to, I want to go back down towards Madeira Beach. That is not
I've been
yet.
keeping a close eye on this area over Pinellas for some areas of suspect.
That looks a little better. Yeah, that's kind of suspect right there. But other than that, it looks better. And then again, we were also watching this one. This is over towards Feather Sound, actually. Right in here. That's right there. No warnings for that. But you can see, yeah, see, look, that even moved.
Yeah, you're going to pick up some
So
gusty
that could
winds
actually,
if you're in that Feather Sound region
Yeah.
near the airport. It's definitely going to get gusty here.
yeah, definitely. It looks kind of suspect. There's no warning out for that part right now, but definitely keep that. Now, the thing with that you can see on the radar doesn't look all that impressive, just yellow and orange there in the reflectivities. But much heavier rainfall coming on over at Madeira Beach. The Howard Franklin Bridge, guys in the booth, if you can keep an eye out on the FDOT cams on Howard Franklin, either side of it, because that's going to be moving right over top of that. Right now, no warnings for that, but it would be interesting to see. This area here, so the warning extends in the northeastern Pinellas, but the concern is now here. They haven't cut that back at all. The concern really is right there at that State Road 54 and Gun Highway. Oh, we've got a live shot from Land O'Lakes. Oh man, this is bearing down right now. Mike King is out there in Land O'Lakes this morning. He's up early and he's got a live shot there. We'll get to that. It's heading in that direction. And in fact, if you're in the Land O'Lakes area, it's going to be there in just about 6:27, so just about 4 or 5 minutes from now. And there it is right now. It doesn't look terrible, but you'll see that coming out. Mike, if you're looking off towards the southwest, I think you are there. It's tough to tell, but we'll be able to see it. Oh yeah, okay. So yeah, and this is not something like you see, on the Discovery Channel where you're out driving and you look over and you see this tornado coming at you. It's dark out right now. It's going to be rain wrapped. The sun's trying to come up a little bit, but that is still a really good rotation. It's now east of the Veterans. It's right over State Road 54, and this is going to be out towards the mall, out in the Wesley Chapel area almost. So it's still well east of Wesley Chapel, but if this holds together, it'll be Land O'Lakes and then probably right along, or I'd say just north of the mall there. So I think the mall will probably be okay if you live in that particular area. Right now, still we're west of 41 with this. So anywhere on State Road 54, if you live at that Veterans exit eastbound, it's right there, and it's moving to the northeast towards Land O'Lakes. So, I'm waiting. What we do is we get these about every 2 minutes or so. Shots looking west. Okay, thank you guys. Yeah, that's exactly where we need to be looking. It'll be coming through. We get these scans, velocity scans, about every 2 minutes or so. See the new one come in right there? Did you see that? Now it looks like it's weakened a little bit, Natalie. That's kind of good news, but that's still enough
still
rotation.
Decent enough to where it's visible. And Bobby, we're pushing more than 25 minutes now that we've been keeping a close eye on this, trailing all the way from north central Pinellas now into south central Pasco. So quite a bit of time period that even if we're not talking about an actual touchdown, some gusty winds could be associated within that area as it moves towards Land O'Lakes.
Yeah, regardless if a tornado's there. All clear in Hillsborough County at this point as far as this tornado warning goes. And literally in Pinellas as well, too. We do have to watch that cell that was coming in near Madeira Beach. But as far as this tornado warning is concerned, the one that goes through 6:30, all clear for Hillsborough and Pinellas County. Now you're up a little bit early, get the kids ready to go to school. Keep in mind, as Natalie's been telling you this morning, it is going to get cold. Today's different. Today's no different than the last couple of days, or at least last week. Tomorrow morning, you want jackets, pants, all that kind of stuff. It's going to be a different day. But by that time, this weather will be out of here. In fact, Natalie, I haven't looked at the models this morning. I think this is our best chance for severe weather this morning.
Right, Bobby.
Correct?
Yeah, it's actually, if you come back to weather too for just a moment, I wanted to show everyone why we're keeping a close eye not only on this, but also just on this entire line, is because, you know, this entire broken line of rain you see here has had a history of having these little isolated areas of rotation. And as Bobby mentioned, we've got a lot of cooler air driving in behind it, so a lot of lift helping to push some of this activity not only inland, but allow it to get a little bit on the stronger side. But look how it trails all the way down, not only south of Pinellas, but the tail end of it still going over into the Gulf of Mexico, the southeastern Gulf of Mexico. So Sarasota County, later this morning, you guys will be seeing some of that rainy activity as well, that thunderstorm activity. This is the bulk of it. What you see right here, guys, this morning, as Bobby mentioned, this is the bulk of it. And it really, we have that potential to see some lingering rain in the afternoon, but truly the heaviest thunderstorm activity and really the area of concern, the weather of concern, would happen during the morning hours through about sunrise into the mid-morning. I'm thinking about 10, 11.
Well, you know, I've got the CC up here over on Weather 1, and man, I hate to say it, but it looks like there's some returns there.
Oh, wow.
For,
yeah, this is different.
For this area. I'm going back and forth. You see that near Cheval? As soon as it got to the Veterans, you can see it right there. See that white near the word Cheval? And then you see that to me, that one actually looks like it tried to pick something up. So that could have been in the Cheval area, right through there through Lutz. Right over top. Yeah, that looks like something happened right there. So news team, keep an eye out for that. You might want to get on the horn and see if we can figure out if there's any damage, anything out there. That really, I mean, look at that. That to me looks like a debris ball. So if you look at that, I will be able to show you this here. So that's a correlation coefficient of 0.9. The other ones are the red is 0.1. So basically what that means is it's just not round. So it could be a little bit of debris. There's the velocity again. If you look, see, now that's changed. Look, that's much better. Let me go back a frame here too. See that? It does look a little bit better, but there's still rotation right there. Although I don't see it as much on the back side. Now we're really close to Land O' Lakes here. All right, Lake Patience Road, between there and 41 is where it is. Basically, Sun Lake Boulevard, I should say.
Bobby,
so that's
just
going to put it right over towards Land O' Lakes.
From the National Weather Service, they are going to go ahead and allow this to expire at 6:30. So I believe it sounds like they're picking up on that weakening as well.
Good. Okay, 2 more minutes of the warning. Regardless, guys, if you're in the Land O' Lakes area, I still think you should be in your shelter. It looks like we may have at least had something pick up here, and perhaps this did drop down and touch. So as it is weakening, let's let it weaken, and let's hope it does continue to do so, but let's play it safe and be in our safe spot here in Land O' Lakes area. Hale Road, Collier Parkway. Let me get in a little bit closer in here too, just south of Drexel.
And Bobby, while we are talking about not only these strong winds, wanted to also update folks in Pinellas County. Central Pinellas, we're going to be picking up some gusts likely in excess of 40 miles per hour. So these storms already moving through the heart of Pinellas County, just west of Pinellas Park, likely heading up towards just near Seminole. South of Largo, we're likely going to be picking up a pretty decent gust of wind here in the next 10 minutes. Yeah,
you can see there's pretty good lightning in there as well too. Not as much. There's been a little bit of thunder this morning, lightning and thunder, but this one's one of the stronger storms with lightning and thunder. And that's coming across the heart of Pinellas right now. You can see Indian Rocks will be clearing up here a little bit. Reddington Shores as well. As far as rotation, well, we got another warning here. What is that one?
It's a marine.
I'm hearing it.
We're getting the marine extending down through the
marine warning.
south
Okay,
of the bay.
Good.
So guys, again, let's in the control room, let's keep an eye on the Sunshine Skyway here coming up over the next 30 minutes to an hour.
Yeah, and then we're, what, a minute? There we go. So they have expired the warning. Natalie, I think I'm going to go ahead and pull this back over here. And there it is. It's gone. So I'll toss it back to you. It does, like I said, I'd keep an eye on that area in Land O'Lakes. It does look like it's weakening. So good news, and hopefully this will be all that we have to deal with for today.
Good morning, Bobby. Thank you again so much for helping us out and joining us. Team coverage here on what was a 30-minute long now tornado warning. Let's take it back on over to Weather 2 here. Just wanted to show you again that we're still going to be keeping a close eye not only on that area of rotation that we were keeping a very close eye on recently, but I also wanted to show you some other areas of concern, mainly just for some gusty winds that we'll likely see right in this region, just west of Pinellas Park, south of Seminole. Also over, looks like the Howard Franklin, just leaving Feather Sound north of the Howard Franklin. Interesting area moving over the bay as we speak. So that means the drive over the bridges, they are going to be incredibly breezy as well. So definitely keep that in mind if you're just about to hit the roadway. We're going to continue to monitor this heavy rain moving through Pinellas County as we speak. For now, we're going to send on over to a commercial break.
Tampa Bay is sponsored by your Tampa Bay area BMW centers.
Instead of Flowers, send a practical gift, a delicious gourmet meal from insteadoflowers.com, delivered right to their door in celebration of the holidays. These incredible meals are already prepared. You don't have to do a thing except heat and serve them. So many delectable choices, including vegetarian, gluten-free, even kids' meals. This holiday season, forget the roses. For about the same price, send an experience, a delightful experience from insteadoflowers.com. What a